I think I've got somebody there with me. I'm obviously starting the live a bit earlier because I just wanted to make sure it was going to work for a start. So we shall see. I think I've learned out that I can edit the beginning of these when they go on YouTube afterwards. So for anyone watching it at a later time, you don't hear me waffling on for 10 minutes. Who have we got? Oh, clicky. So we are a bit early. I can see I've got somebody there, maybe two. If you didn't see my notes before, we are going to do a little bit more of a restorative flow tonight. So a little bit more floor-based, kind of just taking nice gentle stretches. But with restorative or even yin, which I sometimes teach, we want to use props and things to help us. So I put a little note just to say if you've got a pillow, or like, I mean, I have bolsters, but obviously I'm not expecting you to have a bolster. You might have a cushion that looks a similar sort of size, that'd be fab. But even just grabbing a cushion or a pillow off your bed, it will just help you out in some of the poses. It's not necessary, but if you've got it, it's just a nice little sort of addition to help you out with some of the stretches we're going to do today. So yeah, so if you're in and you haven't got anything to hand yet, you've got time, feel free to go and grab something just to sort of help you out. I'm actually going to start with our meditation today, so it's going to feel a little backwards, but we're going to do what's called an opening meditation, a little bit like in class where we do that seated moment where we take 3 breaths and I kind of work through the body just a little bit. It's just a slightly different version of that. So I just thought I'd sort of try things a little bit differently today. But hopefully things all look good my side, although I do think I've got half of my light in the camera. I'm just going to move that slightly. And then, yeah, we'll give it another couple of minutes and then get going. Let me just move this light. I've got a big old light on in the hopes. Is that better? Is that better or worse? In the hopes that when it gets dark, that's better. We can hopefully still, or you can still see me, because it got very dark very quick. Got half a guinea pig cage in there. They're squeaking away as usual. Oh, I'm on a squeaky floorboard as well. That's going to be good, isn't it? Also tonight, if you are watching this live, it is a very big supermoon tonight, and it's been a lovely clear day. So if that's your bag at all, today will be a really nice day to go out and look after at the moon, because it will be a really beautiful night, hopefully. It's certainly been a nice sunny day. I've even enjoyed it in some way. So all seems to be okay though. Do let me know if there's any problems. I can see I've got 2 in, but I don't know who you are. So hello regardless, obviously. And then, as I say, I started a little bit earlier because it's normally I've got some kind of issue, but today seems okay. Hope you're okay though. Hope you've had a good day. Oh, that's creaky. So you could use all different sizes. I've got a little mini bolster here. If you ever do look for a yoga bolster, they will predominantly be this enormous size here. This is very heavy as well because it's full of beans, I think, or lentils or something like that. But that is typically how you would want them. This is really great for a lot of yin poses. It's enormous. So I had lots of these made when I used to do more yin and travel around with them and things, although obviously it was still really fun to have sort of 10 of these, trying to move them around for classes and things. But it's mainly to be used sort of, to start with, it's going to be behind your back, down your spine. So obviously this is a little bit more suited to that than this would be. But it just depends what you're after. I would say though that a pillow off your bed or with 2 pillows is a good place to start. This is kind of like something I could use for some hip training or something. I should bung it up there. Okay. We are nearly there at 7, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. So as mentioned, it's just going to be a bit more of we call it a restorative flow. So less about the heart rate, lots of down dogs and moving around, more about easing into poses. Yin yoga is typically holding poses for much longer. So we're not going that full yin route, but we're sort of somewhere in between where it's not a big energetic flow, but it's trying to ease the body down. It should hopefully be a good day for it as well because it's quite warm. Generally speaking, our bodies feel a little bit more supple, and we feel like we can, we've got a little bit more wiggle room there than when we're cold. So my house is still pretty toasty from today. It got pretty warm. So hopefully you're not feeling cold wherever you are. Okay. So I'm going to show you the first pose. It's only occasionally that you'll find I'm not going to be in the poses with you. So because I'm going to be speaking this meditation, it's much easier for me to be seated. But I'll show you the pose to go into, and then you're just going to chill out there for a little while. So the pose is going to be our reclining cobbler, but with your bolster going down your spine. So I'm going to line mine up on my mat, and then coming into a seated pose. So it's literally just on the bottom, right behind me there. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall. From there, bringing the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. Just realised I really should have chosen a black outfit on this black mat, so hopefully you can see where my legs are. And then from there, I'm walking myself back nice and slow. So I'm coming down onto my bolster, but I've got enough hair to act as a little pillow for me anyway. But all we're trying to do, you can wiggle yourself around as well, is lift the chest. So I'm trying to get a lift in my chest all the way down towards my hips. And my hands can either rest onto my belly, or I find it's normally a little bit more comfortable just to relax them out to the side. Like our normal reclining cobbler, you can play around with the feet. So you can bring them a little closer together, so a little closer toward your body, or you can slide them a little further away. If you find that this is too much to start in the hips, feel free just to place the feet flat for a moment, keep the knees soft, and just open there. If it's too much with a bolster behind your back, then you can get rid of it. You can just see how it feels. But with these poses, we're trying to ease into them a little bit, okay? So get yourself into that position. I'm just going to grab a little notes here for our little opening meditation. And we'll get going. So just nice and easy. If you need to take any layers, so popping extra layers on now, you can do. But just see how it feels, okay? So nice big deep breaths all the way down to the belly. We'll begin by allowing your awareness to sink deep into the lower belly. From here, noticing the rhythm of your own breath. Feel the rising and falling of each inhale and exhale. Do not try to change anything. Just notice and accept the breath exactly as it is. After a few breaths, allow your awareness to broaden. Notice other feelings in your body, your weight on the floor, the temperature of the air against your skin, the sounds around you. After a while, bring your awareness to your chest and your heart and just check in with the state of your emotions. This can maybe feel a little difficult, but they don't need to be big, dramatic feelings. Just look closely and don't dismiss anything that appears. The emotion may be as small as boredom or maybe irritation. The key here is just to notice what is arising without judging yourself for what is there. Don't criticize yourself for being bored or irritated. Don't congratulate yourself for being content. Just notice what is happening right now. Allow your awareness to rise to the point right between the eyes. From here, start to pay attention to the thoughts arising. Don't try to stop them. Just watch each new one arise. Notice it and let it float away. As we move towards our yoga practice, we can sometimes come back to these thoughts, noticing how a movement affects the physical, emotional, and psychological. Very gently, we can just start to bring that attention back to the breath again. Maybe wiggling the fingers and toes. If it feels good, I just want you to lift your arms over your head. Open the eyes if you have them closed. And then slowly start to straighten the legs. Taking your time, nice and slow. And even just from here, a little gentle rock side to side. So moving the hips, moving the bottom side to side. The arms can start to come down. And then we can just start to bend those knees again. Roll onto one side. And then slowly come up to your seated pose for me again. So nice and slow. Just taking your time here. You could take a cushion and place it under your bottom. Well, I'm going to put mine just to the side because I'm going to use it in a little minute. So just whichever you prefer. It can move around with you. So sitting up nice and tall for me. Resting the hands onto your knees. And just having that moment to focus on the breath again. Bringing the breath all the way down to your belly. I just want you to start to put a bit of movement in your body. You can keep the eyes closed, but just gently sway side to side. You might find as you start to move, you feel a little tingling in the back or a little movement down the spine. I just want you to take that movement nice and slow. See what comes up. If a place feels good to stretch, just keep it there a little longer. It might feel nice to take a little lean forward and back as well. Just a gentle lean forward, a little sway, a little recline back, see how that feels. Again, just nice slow movements. You might want to start taking that into a big circle one way. And then a little circle the other way. We'll start to move that into the sides a little bit more. So to bring your left hand down very gently, just keeping it on the hand, then inhale to lift your right hand up. So nice and slow here. Once you're up, I'm putting a little bend in my left elbow so I can gently lean forward and back. So I can open out, send my right arm back, or I can lean it forward. Now you can make this as big or as small as you like. So it might be you want to bring the head down, then open up, maybe come onto that forearm and open up from there. But just see what feels best. It might feel better today to keep it higher. And just take a little bit of movement there. On your next inhale, we'll lift all the way up and exhale over to the other side. So what you could do with your cushion is actually rest your forearm on that. So that might feel good just to have a little bit more support, be able to rest the arm down without deepening too much into the ground. To see what feels best. Hair up my arm. Take a nice big deep inhale, come back to the top. We're going to take a gentle twist here now. So I'm going to take your right hand onto, no, it's my left hand onto my right knee, and then bring your other hand behind you. So I'm actually going to use my prop here to bring it behind me so I can rest my hand on the ground. Normally I would tuck my hand into my waist because of my short arms, but I'm going to use it just to take a gentle twist there, but you can see. So coming all the way over, taking inhale, lift, exhale, twist, and look behind you. Take an inhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. Good. On your next in-breath, I want you to lift your right hand all the way up. So we sweep up to the ceiling, and then exhale, take it over to your left knee. So we're crossing the arms over and relaxing the head down in the middle. So it's just a little sway around. We can release the arms down and then inhale, roll all the way up to the top. Okay, we'll do the same thing for the other side. So I can move my bolster a little bit over to the left, take my right hand onto that left knee, placing my left hand behind me. Inhale to lift, and then as you exhale, twist, look behind you. Take a nice big inhale, again just twisting a little deeper if you can. On that next inhale, lift your right hand all the way up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, sweep it on forward. See if you can touch that opposite knee. So that was my left hand. I'm getting my left and right all mixed up. And then relax it down. Good. Have a little moment there. Release the arms. And then on your inhale, roll it all the way up. Good. From this position, we'll start to move into those legs a little bit. You probably want to stretch them out a little bit. So to lean over towards your left, so then you can send your right leg out to the side nice and straight. Have a little moment just to shimmy around and get comfortable. And we'll start by just taking the right hand to the inside of that right leg and leaning forward. What you could do here again is you could take your cushion to the inside of that leg and just relax your arm down. So your left hand can stay on your left knee. You're just trying to ease into that stretch a little bit, hand coming to the inside of that leg. On your next inhale, see if you can lift your right arm, your left arm all the way up. It's because I mirror normally, I'm not mirroring today. So lift your opposite arm all the way up. And then as you exhale, look forward towards your toes and see if you can bring it down again. It doesn't have to grab those toes, it can just pop down onto that leg wherever you can. From there, slowly start to use those arms to rest your body over that leg. So I've moved my right arm to the outside of the right leg, left hand to the inside, outside, either side. On your next inhale, slowly roll all the way up to the top. And we're going to take a little twist just as we did before. So it's going to be my right hand over to my left knee. I can use my pillow behind me just to inhale and then exhale, twist across. Inhale one more time to see if you can get that twist. And then exhale, bring it forward. Taking your pillow, I want you to place it on top of this right leg. Again, you can have a little shimmy around here if you need to, sitting up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, walk your hands down. And if you can, start to relax the head, relax the shoulders and the neck. You can also, if you find that your forehead can't reach your prop, I want you to place your hands underneath it just to raise it up a little bit. So you can come all the way up if you need to, just so you can rest your head down. It's more important that we can relax the chest than we worry about where our hands are in this position. So wherever you are, just see if you can ease it down. And I want you to take 2 breaths there, okay? On that next inhale, slowly start to lift that chest. You can move your little prop out of the way, and we'll move over to the other side. So I'm just going to lean over to the left, bring the right leg in, and then gently cross over. Okay, again, have a little moment just to shimmy around, get comfortable. Good. Once you're there, same thing, we're going to take our left hand, so the hand same as your leg, and then slowly slide it down. And just coming to the point that feels comfortable, that feels good. Start to relax the head. From there, we can inhale to lift the right arm up, the opposite arm all the way up. And then if it feels good on that exhale, we look towards the toes and bring it forward. Okay, you don't need to be grabbing those toes. If you can reach the toes, that's great. If that feels a little bit too tight, release the arm so we're twisting that body so it relaxes over your legs with the hands either side. So just whatever feels best. On your inhale, slowly roll up, taking that twist again for this side. So I'm going to take my left hand over to my right knee, using that bolster if that helps me just to be able to keep my chest lifted, the spine nice and tall. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, twisting behind you. Take an inhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. And then exhale to the front. I'm going to take this little prop, place it over my leg. Make sure you're bringing your chest so it faces directly over your leg rather than opening out in front of you. So there's that twist there. Start to relax. So from your lower vertebrae, almost from your tummy, starting to relax down. Either bringing the head all the way down, or again, if you need to, you can place a couple of pillows on top so you can be a little bit higher, or you can place those hands underneath. I feel like I look to come back to sort of give it a little cuddle, but lift it up so that you can bring your head down. So we should feel a nice release down the back here, a nice stretch into the back of the leg. Obviously, my dad's trying to ring me now because why wouldn't he? Come on, Dad. If anyone ever rings me in yoga, it is always my father, bless him. Just one more breath for me. And then we can slowly start to release. Good. From this position, take your prop to one side. And I want you to lean backwards so you can open up both legs here. Again, nothing too extreme. You can put a nice little bend in the knee if you prefer. You can lift your bottom up just to get a little bit more comfortable. Okay. And then from this position, I want you to start by taking your bolster behind you so you can rest both hands onto it. And we're going to take a nice stretch just to open up the chest and release the back. So placing your hands, I'm going to show you how my hands are behind me in this position. So my fingertips facing my body and my thumbs facing away. So I place it behind me, fingertips are close to my bottom, thumbs are further away. Take an inhale, start to lift the chest, maybe soften those elbows, and then start to look up and release from there. I'm going to come to the side just to see if that helps. So from this position, I'm going to tap my thumbs to face me as well now. I look up, bend those elbows, and get that stretch from there. Good. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, we slowly start to release, and then we take it forward. Same thing. Your little props can come with you. You can place your forearms on them. Rather than in flow, when I often say get your toes to face up to the ceiling, we're trying to relax the feet this time. So we're not trying to take it too extreme, but we are getting that deeper stretch into the legs. And once you're there, have a little rock around. Just a gentle sway side to side. If you wanted to take this so much so that you gently go from one leg all the way over to the other, then you can. And just see how it feels today. See how you feel. It might feel better just to lean in front. It might feel better just to really lift those knees up and come all the way into this position. And you can still go side to side. Okay. On that next inhale, slowly start to roll up. And then we can take our little bolster away just for a moment. Grab a little drink if you need it. So bring those legs in. I'm just going to take a little sip because I'm talking. Hopefully you're all doing good. Other than my forgetfulness of my left and my right. I'm not sure why I'm not mirroring in these. I think I'm confused if I should. I've only had 2 coffees today. I think that's my problem. Okay. So we're going to take some more twists now, but lying down. So again, I would maybe suggest just sitting up for a moment, just so you can see the pose. And then it makes it a little easier for you once you're down. So I will show you, I'll show you this side because it's going to be the easiest side to find. So we'll start by coming onto our backs and hugging the knees into the chest. For this side, just so I can show you, I'm going to take my right leg down and hug my left knee in. So I have a little rock side to side here. And then we'll start to maybe open out to that left side, even straightening the leg, maybe even finding the foot, but again, bending the knee. And then we're going to take a little twist. I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of that left knee and rock it over. Hopefully not spilling a drink. I'm going to use my bolster to rest my leg on. So this is when you could use a few different props just to rest it on. And we want to be able to relax the foot. That's how much we want to be able to bring this leg over. You might find you want it slid further away from you or hugging it in towards your chest. But I want you to be able to feel like you could straighten your opposite arm out. So your left arm out, turn your head to the left. You can use your right hand just to place a bit of pressure there, just to get a deeper stretch. But the aim is that our left shoulder is staying on the ground. So we're not lifting up here. We're getting a really big twist, okay? And then we'll open out and do the same thing on the other side. So hopefully that was nice and clear for you. Do give me a little shout and we'll keep looking at comments and stuff if you need me. But I'm going to take my bolster to the left-hand side of my body to start with, because we'll be hugging that right knee in towards the chest. So slowly bring yourself down and then hug those knees into your chest for me. And we'll just start with that nice rock side to side. So rocking a little bit on the bottom. If you wanted to, you could also lift that head with a little pebble and just get a really big rock in there. Then we'll take both hands onto that right shin, that right knee, and send your left leg down. It might be for now that you want to put that bend in that knee and place the foot flat, or if you can, we're going to send it all the way out. Again, it's good to have a little wiggle once you get there, just to get the back nice and flat. So we'll start with that opening. I'm going to send my right leg over to the right and use my left hand just to apply a bit of pressure on either my right, my left thigh or my left hip, just to keep it down. So if this is enough, just open it here. If you wanted to, maybe see if you can open that leg. So for me, I'm going to bring my foot towards me a little bit like I would for Happy Baby. See if I can hold on to the inside of my foot, dearie me, and then see if I can straighten it out. Again, this might not feel good. You might want to try using the strap to help you. You might want just to keep the knee really bent so it can be wherever you want it to be. Good. On your inhale, slowly bring it in. Hug the knee into your chest. Take that left hand to the outside of your right knee and then rock it all the way over to the left, making sure you've got your bolster there just to keep it down. That was my back flick already. That was amazing. So I then start to straighten out my right arm and turn my head over to the right. So I'm trying to get this right shoulder down on the ground. A little pressure from my left hand onto the outside of that right knee. By the end of this, I'll have my left and right down, I promise. And just relax as much as you can. If you need to, remember that knee can come closer towards you or further away. You can put a bend in your left leg as well, if that feels a little bit better. You'll probably naturally just have a little bend in the knee. And just relax the hand. Relax your right shoulder as best you can. So one more breath there. And on that next inhale, very slowly start to bring the knee into the chest again. Have a little moment just to rock around with that one knee. It's a good time as well just to pick up your cushion and place it on the other side this time, so it's over on my right. Then I'm going to bring that left knee up, hug both knees into my chest. And then whenever I feel ready to, I can send my right leg down this time, holding onto that left knee. Have a little rock around. Just see how the back feels, see how the legs feel. We start with that opening move. So I take my right hand onto my right hip and then open my left leg over to the left. So it's just a little opening for the hip. If this is enough, keep it here. If you want to try and bend that leg a little bit, you can. If you do want to try and hold on to the inside of your left foot, then you can, but you can keep a little bend here. Just see how this side feels. It's definitely my tighter side. Slowly start to release. Bring the knee in towards your chest. Right hand to the outside of your left knee. Roll it over to the right. So we can shimmy our little cushion around. Looking over your left shoulder, we're straightening the left arm out. Trying to get that left shoulder on the ground. Look, I'm very close to knocking some squash over on my floor. We'll try not to. Relax the hands. Relax your chest, legs. The more you can ease down into these poses, the deeper those stretches will be. You may well get a few clicks here. It's absolutely fine. A few little clicks down the back. We're just moving the fluid around the spine. And that's just what those little noises are going to be. Just one more breath. Very slowly start to bring that knee into the chest. And then we can bring up that right knee. Have that time just to have a little sway. Good. Then I just want you to bring both knees over to one side and very slowly come back to your seated pose again. Grab a little drink if you need it. Hopefully we're all good. Okay. So we're going to start to come towards a little bit more energy now. So we've taken some of those deeper stretches, but we're going to move into some of our poses probably more known for, so down dogs and things like that. Okay, so I don't think I need this for a while. I'm going to place it at the top of my mat, just a little bit further away. I want you to slowly come down onto your knees on one side and then up to your box pose for me. So take your time. Nice and slow. I'll bring my little notes over so we'll decide what we're going to do. Okay. So nice flat back in that position. And to start with, I just want you to take a little sway side to side. It might be our little bum wags we normally do, looking over the shoulder. It might be a little forward and back in box pose. It might be a bit of a cat-cow. I just want you to decide what feels good. Just a general little wiggle. We have just stretched the back and the spine quite a bit. So I'm just trying to release it, check in with how it feels. Okay. We're going to move into our shoulders a little bit. So we're going to take a thread the needle with the arms. So in your box pose, this is going to be a higher thread the needle. Often we're down in child's pose when we thread it through, but we're going to stay in box pose for me. I want you to keep your left hand down, bring up your right hand, and then gently thread it behind the left, so much so that we bring that head down. So your bum's sticking up in the air. Your left hand can maybe move a little further away from you, so towards the top of my mat, up bring mine, just to help me feel a little bit more solid, like I'm not going to fall over. So the right side of my face is down, my right arm is through. If this feels like enough, keep it here. If you wanted to, I want you to see if you can take your left foot and gently slide it behind you. So I've got the ball of my feet on my mat, but I'm just deepening that stretch. If you fancy a little challenge, see if you can lift that leg up without falling over. It's a good challenge. And then bring it back down. There was a definite wobble there from me. Slowly bring that knee in. On an inhale, come back up to box pose. And then we'll do the same thing for the other side. So have a little wiggle in between. From that position, it's going to be your left arm threading behind your right. So keep your bum up nice and high. Thread yourself all the way through. You can move your right hand wherever it feels most comfortable for you. You just keep it here just for a few breaths. Or if you wanted to, see if you can take your right leg out behind you. So keeping your toes on the ground to start with. And then if you fancy that little challenge, see if you can pick that leg up. Roar. It's a wobbly one. And bring it back down. Slide that knee in and come all the way up through your box pose. You'll be happy to know there are no down dog splits into a low lunge today. Instead, in this position, I want you to lean over to your left, pick up your right hand, and then just slide your right leg through. So we're having a little shimmy over to our low lunge, moving around just so you can place the foot towards the middle of the mat, lengthen the back leg, bring the hands either side. Good. And then we're going to take our little twist and our little opening here. Keeping your left hand down, I want you to inhale, lift your right hand all the way up. And then I want you to see if you can, almost doing a semicircle, sweep it out in front of you. And then as you exhale, bring it down to the ground. Squeaky guinea pigs today. And then we're going to do that 2 more times on this side, but drawing a full circle this time. Take an inhale, send your arm back, looking up, and exhale, sweep it forward. Good. One more just like that. So I'm sending the arm back. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it forward. Same thing on the other side. Remember, we can take our arm a little further away. I may even, for my short arm problems, bring my bolster over to this side. So I inhale, lift my left hand up. And then as I exhale, it's a semicircle to start with. So I bring it forward and all the way down. Then 2 circles. So I inhale, send it back. Look up, exhale forward. That was an amazing click. Oh my goodness. My arm might fall off one more time. Bring it up. And down. Good. That was an amazing shoulder click from me. From this position, we'll come into a runner's lunge. So again, just a nice easy one. I want you to roll yourself back, come up onto the heel of the right foot and have that little shimmy. Normally, I would say bring those toes back, but we can relax them this time. Just trying to stretch into the back of the leg, into the hamstring. Maybe shimmy around a little bit with the bottom. Relax the head down. And very slowly walk back to your low lunge. And we'll come up from a low lunge to a high lunge. So curl the back toes, lift that knee. Make sure you feel nice and strong with those legs. And you can take the arms away to start with. Look forward, take an inhale, lift it up. And then as you exhale, just settle in here. So you can relax the hands down. Nice bent knees for me. Take an inhale, lift up. We're going to take an exhale and take a twisted warrior here. So your right hand comes forward and you sweep your left hand behind you. So I'm looking all the way behind me. Okay. Take a big inhale, sweep all the way up. And then as you exhale, we're coming into warrior two. So I'm going to rotate my back heel and come down. And just for you, I'm going to turn around so you can see me. So nice and wide with those legs. Oh, squeaky my hello. Right knee nice and bent for me, looking forward. Take one inhale, lift and lower. So we inhale, lift it up. And exhale, come back to warrior two. Rotate the front hand. I'm getting really distracted by squeaky guinea pigs here. This is not a normal yoga scenario. Take an inhale, reverse warrior. And then an exhale, sweep through extended side angle. So elbow comes to knee. Lift this hand all the way up or up and over, whatever suits. Take a nice big inhale, lift back to warrior two. And then as you exhale, sweep into your low lunge again. So you're going to sweep yourself all the way down, rotating that back heel. From this position, I want you to soften your back knee down and work your way out to your lizard pose. So your right foot is coming to the outside of your mat and the hands are coming either side. Okay, so I'm going to quickly flip round just so you can see the side and hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. Okay, so a little lizard pose on this side. Now you can use your bolster here as well, another good reason I've moved. So I can either place my hands on my bolster, just to raise me up a little bit, or I can even try and come down to my bolster on my elbows. So normally when we're coming straight onto the ground, it can be quite uncomfortable here, especially that inner arm. So use your little prop just to raise you up. If you're using it to raise you up and you are lifting your chest, if you fancy a little extra challenge, this is one I'm working on myself. I'm going to bring up that back knee, sweep the body around, take your band and see if you can find it. It's a tight one. And then bring it back again. So just show you that again. I came up to my hands. I released my right hand, so my inner hand, I'll call it, the one by my leg. Bring up my back foot, twist around and see if I can grab it. And release. From that position, we're going to come back to box pose. So I lean over to my left so I can sweep my right knee back. Have a little moment in between just to move around. Anything that feels good. Might be a little child's pose. Might just be a little bit of movement. Then whenever you feel ready to, that same little thing on the left side. So I lean over to my right just so I can pick up my left foot, sweep it forward into low lunge. Have that little bit of time just to wiggle around. Slide the back leg down if it needs it. And then we'll start with our twisted lunge with those arms again. So 3 times. Right hand stays down. Inhale the left hand nice and high. Take that semicircle to start with. So I sweep my hand forward, bring it all the way down. As I inhale, take it back for a full circle. Exhale, sweep it down. Good. One more time. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale down. Same thing on your open side. So just opening that left hand further away from the body so you can inhale, lift your right hand. As you exhale, semicircle, bring it forward. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, bring it forward. Got my breath there. One more for me. Bring it all the way up. And all the way back. Good. Bringing those hands down, coming into that runner's lunge again. So walk yourself back. Again, nice and slow, not taking anything too extreme today. You can relax those toes. Just try and relax the head down, relax the shoulders, the chest. You can walk the hands a little further away if you wanted to. Again, just checking in, see how the legs feel. See how the breath feels. And then very slowly walking yourself to the top of your mat one more time. So we're going from that low lunge to a little higher lunge. Curl the back toes, lift that knee. Take the hands away just to make sure the legs are nice and strong. Once they're there, look forward, inhale, lift it up. And then we take our twist again. So this right hand comes forward, I sweep my left hand behind me, take a little twist. Very slowly bend those knees, sweep the left hand up. Lift it all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, open out to warrior two. Take your time to slowly get yourself there. Good. One lift and lower there. So inhale, lift all the way up to the ceiling, looking up. And exhale, soften down. Reverse warrior, so rotate that front hand. Inhale, we lift it up, send that hand down your back leg. Look up if you can. And as you exhale, sweep through extended side angle. So your forearm comes to your knee. We inhale, lift this top hand up, or a little up and over, if that feels good. See what feels best. Good. Coming up to warrior two one more time. So we inhale, lift it up. And then as you exhale, sweep those hands down, rotate the back heel so it comes up, and we come back down to that lunge position. From there, we're coming into our lizard. So I drop my back knee down, walk my left foot to the outside of my mat, and bring those hands down. Again, if you've got your little bolster, your little prop, it can be quite nice just to have a little bit more support here. Remember, in lizard pose, you can walk that front foot out as wide as you want it to. We're really trying to look out for a nice stretch in the quad here, though. So rather than being on a right angle with that back knee, we're trying to really lean it forward here and get that deeper stretch. We can try and come down to the forearms. Remember, start with your outer forearm and then try that inner forearm. Or if you wanted to go for that little challenge, we're going to lift that back leg, pick up the left hand, bring ourselves up all miles away, and then release. Let's try that one more time. I think I need a higher pillow for this one. So I'm going to lean to my right, pick up my left hand, send it back, or even further away, and all the way back again. Each day is different. Most of them are similar to that. That's always tight. Just go for one more little breath in your lizard pose. And then very slowly lean to the right, just so you can send your left leg back. And we're going to come down into child's pose. So for me, I would slide that prop with me and then bring my head down onto it, maybe turning to the side if your nose gets in the way. And just having a little stretch there. If you've got a little support in between, try and take the knees out wide. And then you can maybe even bring your belly, your chest, and your face down onto it. And that can feel pretty nice as a little release. Take a few breaths with your head turned one way. Maybe 3 breaths. And then turn your head the other way. Another 3 breaths. I'll grab a little drink while you just release. Hopefully you're all okay. Oh, such a quick. Feel free to grab a little drink whenever you need one. Hopefully we're all doing okay. It's enough to feel like you're having a good workout, but actually we've not been in any particularly strong inversion at all to make the heart rate go. It's just that general movement, generally feeling quite released, to be honest. It feels quite nice. So the final thing I'm going to finish with before we end up is a little bit of what's either called cow face arms or shoelace arms. So that is the traditional stretch that we kind of often see one way and then the other. One other little prop you could have, if you do struggle for those hands to touch, I would go and grab a towel or what would I grab? Your dressing gown belt or a belt, something just so you can hold on to it. Let me just randomly see what I've got knocking about, so I'll give you an idea of what I mean. This is going to be the most random thing you'd ever imagine me finding. So this is like a knitted headband that I've made. But what I'm trying to get, I suppose it's black as well. One second, come on, there's got to be a better colour to show. There we go. So a slightly different colour. And what I mean by grabbing something is, if I was to turn around, so if I was to hold onto it with this arm and sweep my other arm up, if those fingers couldn't meet, I could hold on to whatever I've got, make some tension by pulling away, so that as I pull onto my knitted headband, I can open up my chest and send, I'll show you this way as well, those elbows back. So it's not really a case of getting those fingers to touch. It's great if you can, because it just means you don't need something else. But they could really be, you know, one could be at the very base of your spine, one could be at the very top of your neck, but you can hold on to something and it's going to give you the same stretch. So I don't want you to worry about really trying to get them to meet. It's just about finding something that can help you do it. It doesn't have to be something you have hand knit beforehand. Okay, so I'll give you a little minute just in case you need to grab something. When I'm doing the stretch as well, me personally, I like to sit on my knees in this position because I just find it helps me move my hips around so I can keep my back nice and straight. What I might do sometimes is take that cushion and place it just, where am I trying to say, just above my heels so I can sit down on it. Again, it's just about protecting the spine, making sure I can sit up nice and tall. Or even if you find in this pose, this is a big stretch for your shins, place it underneath either the feet or in an arch. If you find you have a natural arch just above the ankle, I'm trying to struggle with the word ankle there, and the shin, just place it there. So find what works best for you. I'm going to plonk mine there. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, so I shall face the front. I think that feels like a position you'll hopefully be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so from this pose, we'll start with the right hand going up and the left hand going down. So take a nice big inhale with your right hand all the way up, so nice and tall to start. And then as you exhale, bend your elbow and bring the hand down. So it should be feeling this down the back of the arm. You can even use your left hand that's free just to wiggle it back a little bit. So we're touching our trapeze, the top of between the shoulders. From that pose, sitting up nice and tall, we take your left hand, bring it behind you, and bring your hand as far over. Can you see it's sort of peeking out the other side of my waist? So I bring it over as far as I can, and then as I inhale, I bring that hand up. So if you find that you can't get those fingertips to meet, then I'm going to turn around to this one. Then I would bring up whatever I'm going to help me, bring it up in my top hand, so the right hand, exhale it back, slide my other hand over. So you can see I've brought it all the way over as far as I can, and then bring it up so I can hold on to what I need to. And once I'm there, take an inhale, lift the chest, send the elbows back. So that's the pose we want to be in. So rather than leaning forward, I'm opening out and I'm sending those elbows back. Again, I'll just come to the front. So opening it out. Once you're there, it might feel good to have just a general little wiggle around in your spine, maybe even turning the head up and down or a little side to side. Take it nice and easy though. Applying that pressure on your bit of material, whatever you've got, just to help open everything out. We're going to take just 2 more breaths in this pose. Taking the breath down to the belly. 1 more. Then we'll start to release the left hand, the bottom one to start with, and then take that right arm all the way up and send it back. If it feels good, just roll the shoulders a few times. neck a little bit. And then we'll just finish by doing the other side. So I'm going to take my headband onto my left hand this time. It's more comfortable for me. I'm going to sit on my cushion. Take an inhale, lift the left hand all the way up. As you exhale, bend that elbow. You can use your free hand just to shimmy it around a little bit. One side will feel tighter than the other, so if this already feels like your tighter side, just take it easy. With your free hand, that left hand, start to slide it across. So to start with, you're just trying to almost touch the side of your waist, and then inhale, bring that hand up, grab whatever you're going to grab. Might be both hands, might be something in between. And then from there, you can see it's quite natural to sort of lean forward and release. But we want to inhale, lift the chest, send the elbows back. So it's a quite dynamic stretch we're trying to go for here. You might need to just turn the head a little bit, wiggle the waist, wiggle your hips a little bit. And then take 2 more breaths here for me. We'll slowly start to release. Release your left hand. Inhale, lift the right hand nice and high. And then sweep it back. From that pose, I just want you to take one last little box pose for me. So over onto the hands and the knees. For me, I'm actually going to take this, what you can see, with my toes curled. So rather than feet flat, because they've been flat for a while, I'm just going to curl my toes. And I'm just going to have a rock in my box pose, leaning back a little bit and leaning forward just to release my feet. So my feet just don't like being in that position. So I'm just going to have a little rock around. A little bit of movement. So I hope that felt good for your back. We did quite a lot of twisting tonight, quite a lot of opening of the spine. So do take it nice and easy. I'm just finishing off with a few little gentle cat-cows. Just to release the spine, coming into cat pose, looking between the legs. Up to cow pose, sticking the bum and the chest nice and high. Just one more of those for me. And we can release the toes if we're down on them. Very slowly come round. I just want you to come into your seated pose. Creaky floorboard again. So we have worked that spine. You might feel it even in your back a little bit here. So do be nice and gentle with it. I've just sat on my bolster just to make me feel a little bit taller, just to finish off with our 3 breaths. So we opened up with that meditation, but we're going to close in our usual way, taking our 3 breaths to tune out. So bringing the hands down to the sides, take a nice big inhale to float all the way up, nice and tall. Easy exhale out the mouth, brings the hands down to the chest, and just plugging the thumbs into the heartbeat. And that nice, easy rhythm. 2 more times, just the same. Big inhale floats you up. Easy exhale softens you back down. And one last time. Big inhale. Easy exhale. And while we have the thumbs on the heartbeat, it's a good time just to scan through the body again and just notice how it feels. You can then draw that attention towards the breath without changing it too much, just noticing how it feels in the body. And finally the mind. Just want you to notice how you feel right this moment. Namaste. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Hope you had a nice class. And it's a little different to what I usually teach, but it just felt like one of those days that I just wanted to take it down a little notch, stretch it out a little longer, just do something a little bit different. So let me know, don't know what this is. Write me a letter on your typewriter. Let me know what you thought. And yes, I shall see you again tomorrow lunchtime. That's the plan. Last lunchtime when I had to cancel because I suddenly had to run to work. Hopefully that won't be the case tomorrow. But yeah, I'm hoping to do some pre-recorded filming probably over the Easter weekend. So there'll be a little bit of a mixture for you. So if there is anything particularly you'd like me to film, I've mainly been focusing on the kids stuff, doing pre-recorded, but I'll do some adult stuff as well. So let me know if there's anything particularly you'd like. And I shall see you all very, very soon. I shall go and turn us off. And hopefully, I've not heard from any of you, so I hope that was all good. And you heard me all the way through. Okay, have a lovely evening. Bye.